Chapter 1. The Loom's Legacy. The mist curled around the ancient trees, shrouding the forest in an ethereal veil as Elysia's footsteps crunched on the fallen leaves. Her breath plumed in the crisp morning air, and she tightened her cloak around her slender frame. The path ahead wound deeper into the heart of the woods, leading her toward her late grandmother's isolated cottage. As she approached the weathered structure, a sense of trepidation stirred within her. Elysia had always been drawn to the stories her grandmother wove, tales of ancient magic and forgotten lore. But now, faced with the reality of her grandmother's passing, those fantastical narratives took on a somber hue. The cottage door creaked open, and Elysia stepped into the dimly lit interior. A musty scent lingered, mingled with the faint aroma of herbs and incense. Shelves lined the walls, brimming with dusty tomes and peculiar artifacts, remnants of her grandmother's lifelong pursuit of knowledge. Elysia ran her fingers along the spines of the books, their titles whispering of arcane mysteries and forgotten histories. A pang of nostalgia tugged at her heart as she recalled the countless hours spent curled up by the fireplace, listening to her grandmother's stories. As she ventured deeper into the cottage, her gaze fell upon a peculiar object in a secluded room. An ancient loom stood before her, its intricate frame carved from bone and adorned with intricate symbols etched into its surface. A strange energy seemed to pulse from the loom, drawing Elysia closer. "Grandmother, what secrets did you keep?" she murmured, her fingertips grazing the smooth bone. A shimmering light flickered in the corner of her vision, and Elysia whirled around, her heart pounding. A spectral apparition materialized before her, taking the shape of her beloved grandmother. "Elysia, my dear," the ghostly figure spoke, her voice echoing with the weight of ages. "You have finally come to claim your birthright." Elysia's breath caught in her throat as she stared at the apparition, equal parts awe and fear coursing through her veins. "What is this place, grandmother?" she asked, her voice trembling. "What secrets have you kept from me?" The spirit drifted closer, her translucent form flickering in the dim light. "This loom is no ordinary weaving tool, child. It is a conduit to the very essence of life itself. For generations, our family has safeguarded its power, wielding the threads of creation and destruction." Elysia's brow furrowed as she struggled to comprehend her grandmother's words. "Creation and destruction? What are you talking about?" "You bear the mark of the bone weavers," her grandmother continued, gesturing to the intricate loom. "It is your destiny to take up the mantle and maintain the delicate balance between life and death." Elysia's gaze flickered to the loom, her curiosity piqued despite her trepidation. "How does one weave life and death?" "Touch the threads, my dear," her grandmother urged. "Let the loom's magic flow through you." With a deep breath, Elysia extended her hand, her fingers brushing against the bone threads. A surge of energy coursed through her veins, and she gasped as visions flooded her mind, glimpses of past lives, forgotten histories, and ancient rituals. Her grandmother's voice echoed in her mind, guiding her through the intricate ritual of bone weaving. Elysia watched, mesmerized, as the threads twisted and entwined, infused with the life force of fallen creatures. In a trance-like state, Elysia's hands danced across the loom, weaving a tapestry of bone and energy. The threads pulsed with an otherworldly glow, and a small sapling emerged from the loom, its leaves unfurling with vibrant emerald hues. I created life," Elysia whispered, her eyes wide with wonder and disbelief. A smile tugged at her grandmother's spectral lips. "You have tapped into the loom's power, child. But heed my warning, with every thread woven, a part of your soul is consumed by the ancient magic." Elysia's euphoria faded as the weight of her grandmother's words sank in. She turned to face the ghostly figure, her expression torn between curiosity and dread. "What price must I pay for this power, grandmother?" The spirit's form flickered, her features etched with sorrow. "The curse of the bone weaver is a heavy burden, my dear. With each weave, your memories, your essence, will fray and unravel, until you become a mere vessel for the loom's magic." Elysia recoiled, her hands trembling as she grasped the gravity of her newfound power and its terrible cost. The sapling before her, once a symbol of wonder, now seemed to wilt and wither, its vibrant hues fading to ashen gray. "Why would you burden me with such a curse, grandmother?" Elysia whispered, her voice laced with anguish. The spirit drifted closer, her form growing more translucent with each passing moment. Because you are the only one who can mend the rift between life and death, child. A dark force stirs, seeking to unravel the very fabric of existence. You must embrace your destiny, no matter the sacrifice. Elysia's shoulders sagged, her mind whirling with a maelstrom of emotions. Fear, determination, and a sense of purpose all vied for dominance within her heart. What must I do? She asked, her voice steady despite the turmoil within. Her grandmother's ghostly form began to dissipate, her words echoing in the stillness of the room. Seek the ancient tomes, Elysia. Unravel the prophecies and prepare yourself for the trials ahead. The fate of both realms rests upon your shoulders, Bone Weaver. As the last whispers faded, Elysia found herself alone once more, her fingertips still tingling with the remnants of the loom's magic. She turned her gaze to the shelves lined with dusty tomes, a newfound resolve burning within her. Night had fallen by the time Elysia emerged from the depths of her grandmother's library, her eyes heavy with fatigue. She had pored over countless volumes, deciphering cryptic texts and unraveling the lore of the Bone Weavers. A sense of dread mingled with determination as she absorbed the weight of her newfound knowledge. The ancient prophecies spoke of a dark force that sought to unravel the delicate balance between life and death, and it fell upon her shoulders to prevent the unraveling of existence itself. Elysia's gaze drifted to the bone-weaving loom, its threads glimmering in the flickering candlelight. She knew the price she would pay for wielding its power, but a sense of purpose burned within her, fueled by her grandmother's dying words. With a deep breath, Elysia gathered a handful of bones from the creatures she had collected during her forays into the forest. She began the intricate weaving ritual, her fingers deftly manipulating the threads as she infused them with life force. As the tapestry took shape, Elysia felt a part of her essence unraveling, fraying away like wisps of smoke in the night breeze. She gritted her teeth, pushing through the discomfort as she poured her very being into the weave. Butterflies emerged from the threads, their delicate wings unfurling in a kaleidoscope of colors. They fluttered around Elysia, bathing her in a gentle, ethereal glow. A small smile tugged at her lips as she watched the creatures of her creation dance through the air. Despite the toll the weaving had taken, a sense of wonder and accomplishment blossomed within her. But as the butterflies dispersed, Elysia felt a dark presence lurking at the edges of her awareness. A chill ran down her spine, and she whirled around, her gaze scanning the shadows that clung to the corners of the cottage. In the depths of the night, a pair of glowing eyes watched her from the forest's edge, burning with a sinister hunger. Elysia's breath caught in her throat as she met the unseen figure's gaze, her heart pounding in her chest. The eyes vanished, swallowed by the darkness, but the lingering sense of dread remained. Elysia knew, in that moment, that her journey had only just begun.